Good morning, everyone. This is a pre-recorded video. Due to circumstances, we are not able to be here live with you. But what we did, we put together some of our favorites to make a really great show so that you can still be uplifted and motivated every single morning. Hope you stick around. Hope you enjoy every single bit of it right here on Labor with Leo.
Wake up to the soul in the early morning. Wake up the game, it's a new day. Wake up the soul, it's time to fly. Float on the winds and kiss the sky. The birds and flowers were made for you and me. I must be all I can be.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Labor Live, right here with your boy Leo. Here we bring you inspiration and we give you insights on how to live a better life. All right, good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Labor Show once again. It's a pleasure being here with you, spending the morning with you. Great to see every single one of you on the live session this morning. We're going to be having a great time. On the outside, the weather is just in between. I'm going to give you a little bit of a weather forecast this morning. It stands 50% chance it's going to rain. So whether it's rain or not, I'm correct, Sid. Boy. So ladies and gentlemen, just prepare for that this morning. We're going to be having a great weather nonetheless. Enjoy it to the fullest. Just remember to prepare yourself as you go out there. I know some of you are preparing to go to work this morning. So be safe on the road. Be safe on the wet weather. And if you're driving, make sure you drive at just about 80 kilometers per hour if you're on the highway and 50 on the main road. Did I get it right, Sid? All right, lovely. So, ladies and gentlemen, we really appreciate you being with us. I'm your boy Leo, and Sid is in the house with us, and the Labor crew once again is bringing the vibes to keep you alive. That is what we do. We keep people alive, up and running, because we want to see the best for everyone. We want everyone to be able to have a good day and good days to come and a good life, ladies and gentlemen. So you're in the right place on the Label Show, and we're going to be bringing the house down this morning. We got a special guest this morning. She is familiar with us, all right, and we are familiar with her. It's not the first time she's appearing on the program. She will be dealing with a lovely topic this morning. At the appropriate time, she would be jumping on the scenes. All right, so guys, we are out here to drench the world in positivity, and I'm still, as you can see, I'm still trying to take it easy with my voice box, ladies and gentlemen, because I got work to do in this place, so I need to rest while I work. Oh, how am I doing that? I'm resting while I'm working. Lord have mercy. That is what I do. Well, as I told you yesterday, I can do anything, ladies and gentlemen. And I was listening to a song this morning. You can get it if you really want. Jimmy Cliff. You know what Jimmy Cliff said? I said, you're no good singers, man. Men from the old school. Jimmy Cliff is the man, ladies and gentlemen. Take a little listen. I know men like Wayne Pascal would appreciate and know these guys. Some of the older folks out there would know who Jimmy Cliff is. You know, probably if I ask a millennial or something, who's Jimmy Cliff? Might say, well, probably that's a superstore down the road. Nobody knows who's Jimmy Cliff these days, but he's a boss. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I got something to do this morning. I got to give this is one of my favorite parts of the show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be giving the hail out this morning, and I can't wait to see who gets the gold medal. Well, let me jump on the session and see what we got here. Oh, my goodness. Is this a second day running? Is this a second day running, ladies and gentlemen? Day 2, it is consecutive because the Vika Van Leeuwen is on the front line. She is at the top. She is for the gold medal, the Vika Van Leeuwen. Big up to you. This is great. This is the second time running. Oh, my goodness. Look at the determination in your face. Look at the way I was looking at the way she was coming around that bend, Sydney, and oh my goodness, she had such a power, you know, and the look was just fierce, and she was striding coming down the last 100-meter. And ladies and gentlemen, Javika Van Leeuwen just took the gold medal off Libby, because Libby was neck and neck with her. They were coming down the line, ladies and gentlemen, and as soon as they clicked the button, it was just 1 millisecond one before the other. The Vika Van Leeuwen just took it over Libby. So Libby, you got to settle for the silver medal this morning. You're doing great because I know you're always on the program early. Wow. The Vika took it. Libby with silver. And Sandra Lamb. Wow. Sandra Lamb decided she is out here to get a medal this time. So Sandra Lamb, big up to you. You got the bronze medal. So the Vika gold, Suri silver, and Sandra Lamb, she got the bronze. Well, she just nicked it from Angela Small. Angela yesterday, I believe, got a medal, and Sandra this morning just nicked it from Angela. And I know Angela was waiting. Oh my goodness, these things just happen by a few milliseconds, ladies and gentlemen. And then we got Ruby Richards coming in fifth. Ruby, that's a really great effort. Fifth is really good, but no medals for fifth, Ruby. You got to do better. You got to jump in the first three, Ruby. Come on. Lindy and Roberts is in the house. She's flying the Grenadian flag at sixth place. She is coming in at sixth, but she's proud of where she's coming from. And Marcia Meyer, she's coming in at seventh place. Seventh is good as well. Good effort. Good effort. Florence Sturton coming in at eight. Sandra Stewart coming in at nine. Rosemary Rampersad Lazama coming in at 10. Well, and after the 10th place, we just let this thing loose, ladies and gentlemen. So we got Pontiana Bruno coming in. Then we got Wendy and Norton, Lynn Bax, Wayne Pascal. Wayne, you're falling back, my man. You need to be jumping up in the first 10. You need to be jumping up in the top 3. Wayne, come on, you're falling back, my man. Suzanne Top Rankin. Then we got who we got? Michelle Hooper, Eon Critchlow, Patsy Kassoon, Siobhan Clark. Oh boy, Connie Langine, Charmin Boyce, Marilyn Elias. Oh my goodness, there we go. That's the man we've been waiting for, Sydney Hendrickson. Hendrickson, welcome back once again, my man. I spoke with Hendricks yesterday, my man. Oh my goodness, he's the man. Good to see you back. Hope you're feeling much better. Hope you're doing great. All right, and you're ready to rumble. Then we got Anne Scorette. We got Tandika Lewis. We got, oh my goodness, so much. Ah, boy, let me just jump in here for a little while. Oh, my word. Right. Elizabeth Robert Stewart. We got Monica Arlene. We got Veronica Charles. Of course, Sister Laverne Davis. Laverne Davis is on the chat here as well. Wow. This is great. We got Sister Shirley on the session. We got Sister Shirley Alcantara, that is. I know there are several Shirleys. We got Love Child Cheyenne. She is pumping as well. Wow. All right. Well, that's about the names that I'm seeing. I don't know why. I know there are several more. But hey, I got to roll with this for a while because this is how Facebook is running it with me. I know I'm seeing a lot more pumping in here. Wow. I would have loved to call every single body because I'm seeing Marissa Jones coming in as well. Oh my goodness, I just love this race on a morning set. I can't wait to see who is coming in with the gold medal tomorrow morning. And guys, you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to do something. The person that gets 3 consecutive gold medals, I'm going to personally give them a prize, Sydney. Yeah, I'm going to get something to give that person no matter where you are in the world, all right? If you are able to bring in 3 gold medals consecutively, all right? Not 2 here, you'd miss 1 and gold the next day. No, 3 gold medals consecutively, I'm going to give you a prize. Personally, ladies and gentlemen. Ah, my goodness. And there we go. Maylene Lamy is in the chat. And when Maylene touched down, Sydney, what happened? The whole place shell down. All right. Big up to you, Claudia Ford. Sister Claudia, big up to you. Good to see you. All right. Lyndon Joe Field, big up to you as well. All right, guys. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we move forward, you know, we're gonna be having a great time. Sid, you're up for this? All right, lovely. Yeah, we're gonna be having a great time. You know, we usually start the day the best way. There's nothing better than waking up in the morning, being able to breathe, being able to see that, okay, I'm alive, I'm well, I'm good. You look to the left, you look to the right, you see family members, you see loved ones. There is nothing greater than waking up and feeling grateful for what you have in the moment. And not what you could have accomplished, what you have in the moment. Nothing better than waking up and feeling grateful about it, ladies and gentlemen. So this is what we do. We sing songs of praise and glory and thanksgiving to God because this is a way we can say, God, thank you. And guess what? It's also a way we can have fun with it and enjoy. Imagine we enjoying saying thanks to God, having a great time with it, and starting your day this positive, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness! Oh my word! We gotta get this thing going. Sid, let's go, Sid. I'm gonna turn you over to Sid. Sid is going to drop his music as usual. I know Sid, got that smooth, silky voice, and he's going to be dropping some of that for us this morning. I just want to say one shout out as well. I think I missed the name. Tandy Way is in the house. Yep. All right, good to see you, Tandy Way. Yeah, I always just try to get as much people as possible, Sid, yeah, man. All right, you ready for them, Sid?
Yeah.
Lovely. I'll turn you over to Sid right now. We're going to be getting some music. Let's go, Sid.
Leo, I don't know if you know this one, but I'll drop it and see.
All right.
It's a really nice one. Yeah, it goes like this. If it had not been for the Lord on my side, tell me, where would I be? Where would I be if it had not been for the Lord on my side? Tell me, where would I be? Where would I be? Oh, he kept my enemies away. He let the sun shine through a cloudy day, and he rocks me in the cradle of his arms when he knew that I was better than scars. So if it had not
I love it.
For the Lord on my side, tell me, where would I be? Where would I be? Yes, I saw that.
Yeah. It's not the first time I'm hearing it. I've heard it somewhere before. But wow, lovely song, Sid.
Yeah, it's a beautiful,
so
beautiful
Sid
one.
got that smooth, silky voice, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my word.
I was sinking deep in sin, far from the peaceful shore, very deeply stained within, sinking to rise no more. But the master of the sea heard my despairing cry. From the waters lifted me, now see, am I? You know your love lifted me, even me. Love lifted me when nothing else could help. Love lifted me, hallelujah. Love lifted me, even me. Love lifted me when nothing else could help. Your love lifted me. All my heart to him I give, ever his praise I'll sing. In his blessed presence live, ever his praises sing. Love so mighty and so true merits my soul's best song. Faithful loving service to him belong. Love lifted me, even me, love lifted me when nothing else could help. Love lifted me, hallelujah. Love lifted even me, and love lifted me when nothing else could help. Your love lifted me. I'm satisfied with just a cottage below, a little silver and a little gold. But in that city where the ransom will shine, I want a gold one, that silver line. I've got a mansion just over the hilltop in that bright land where we'll never grow old. And someday yonder we'll never more wander, but walk the streets that are pure as gold. Don't think me poor or desert or lonely. I'm not discouraged, I'm heaven bound. I'm just a pilgrim in search of a city. I want a mansion, a robe and a crown. I've got a mansion just over the hilltop in that bright land where we'll never grow old. And someday yonder we'll never more wander, but walk the streets that are pure as gold. I've got a mansion just over the hilltop in that bright land where we'll never grow old. And someday yonder we'll never more wander, but walk the streets that are pure as gold. My only hope is you, Jesus. My only hope is you. From early in the morning till late at night, my only hope is you. And my only joy is you, Jesus. My only joy is you. From early in the morning to late at night, my only joy is you. And my peace, my only peace is you, Jesus. My only peace is you. From early in the morning till late at night, my only peace is you. And all I need, all that I need is you.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus, all that I need is you. From early in the morning to late at night, all that I need is you.
Lovely, lovely. Great singing by the one and only Sid. Sid, what's your middle name, man? You need to throw your middle name out there. You need to throw that middle name out there, man. Come on, Sid. Oh, my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, that was some lovely singing done by your boy, Sid. And you know he can bring it to the table. All right. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be preparing to have your girl, our guest, Sister Laverne, on the session this morning. She's going to be dealing with the topic molestation. Oh my goodness. Did you ever been in a seminar, a workshop, some class or the other with such a topic?
Not once.
Not once.
Mm-hmm.
Neither have I. Because I mean that is such it seems so private. It seemed such a different topic, you know. Much people wouldn't want to talk about it, much less their experiences about it, you know. And I think Laverne is pretty brave. She's really brave and bold to bring this out there. And as a matter of fact, because of her bravery and her boldness, she would be able to touch so many lives. And that's why a lot of people is drawn to her so much, because they can learn from her, you know, they can draw from her and feel confident themselves in working on what they are dealing with. All right. And so, you know, I don't wish this on anybody, but in case people are dealing with situations like that, Sister Laverne is really someone you can talk to. She is someone that makes you feel comfortable because she's been through it herself. She shares her experience and she's about to deal with it this morning. All right. So we're going to be having Sister Laverne on in just a second. So in the meantime, you can sit back, get your notepads out if you need to, and enjoy the smooth sailing ride. Because in looking at a topic like this, it is going to be it can be a really difficult topic. It can be a really technical, not technical, but a touchy topic.
you know, it is not something easy to deal with. And I really appreciate Sister Laverne coming to share her experiences and share some of the ways that she was able to get over this period in her life, because this was a really, really she was on the program last time and she spoke about it just a little bit, and it seemed to be a really, really terrible time, period of time in her life. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you this morning, Sister Laverne, she has backbone, she has strength, she has fortitude, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to get stuff to make it through your time, your period of time, and to deal with it mentally, she's one that you can speak to on a personal level. All right, Sid, what you thought when you heard that topic earlier in the week, Sid?
Well, it's a really taboo topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not one, but I spent 2 years with Sister Laverne already, so I know that how open she is in talking about her experiences, and I really respect that, because a lot of people in the church, sometimes we hide.
Yeah.
We like to pretend everything has always been perfect,
Yeah.
always been good, and so instead of people being able to learn from our experiences, sometimes everybody just walking in the dark. But it's good to have people that are willing to talk about these things and talk about their experiences and their feelings, their shortcomings, their traumas in these cases.
And you mentioned a really important word, Sid, trauma. Anytime you have a traumatic experience, anytime you had a traumatic experience in the past, one of the things that you would recognize you need to do, and I'm saying need because this one is important, one of the things that is needed, and it is not often done, is speaking it out of your system. You need to talk to somebody about it. And I'm telling you this, it will work. You need to speak it out of your system. Too many times we leave it within, it bubbles, and it causes even, emotional problems. It causes marital problems as well. It causes problems in the home. It causes problems with other people, because you're not able to let go of what you're dealing with and connect with people and deal with people the way you're supposed to, because you're still holding on to it, and it is affecting you even in your other relationships. And so what works is speaking it out of your system. Talk to somebody about it. Sit with someone confidential and speak to somebody about it, because the more you talk about it, is the more you would get accustomed to it. You will get used to it being there, because some people for years are dealing with certain things, Sid, and they are not Sydney, it still bothers them as if it was fresh, because they are not getting it out of their system. They are hiding it in there. I don't want anyone to know about this. I don't want anyone to know I was involved in this. And you know what would happen? They don't want anybody to know, but everyone will know, because it would show in the way you operate. And especially if you have a psychologist moving around you, he can read you like a book, And so one of the best things to do in dealing with trauma is getting it out your system, speaking it out, all right? And letting yourself know that this is not a bother for you anymore. Speak it out of your system, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I think she is ready. I got my... yeah, look, parents say it causes mental problems too, and that is totally correct. Yep. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my director told me that the guest is ready, so we're going to be bringing on Laverne on the program this morning. Sister Laverne, how you doing, my girl, this morning?
I'm fine. A little cold, but I'm good.
A little cold?
Yeah. Good.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, well, around this time of the year, Sydney, things are just falling from the sky. In some parts of the world, rain, in the other parts, snow. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're about to expect. We're about to expect the chilly weather at this point in the year. So, Sister Laverne, you better cloak up, and if what you have on is not enough, then put a blanket over you. That's okay. We'll ignore the blanket. Just make sure you're warm.
No, I have a shield. That looks better.
All right. Well, I hope it works. Well, how are you doing this morning, sis?
I'm fine. How are you doing? First of all, good morning to you in Sydney and to the Label team. And good morning to Facebook friends and family. And thank you for having me this morning.
Lovely, lovely, and that's not a problem at all. We're really glad to have you because you're one of the few persons in the world that is able to do something like this, and it impacts people greatly. That is why we need you here to make some real to move some mountains. Sid, we need you to move some mountains with your
Well,
experiences this morning.
some
So
encouragement more than anything else, you know.
yes, yes, yes. Yep. And how's your week going? How's your week going with all the weather challenges and the pandemic challenges? How things going with you over there?
Well, it's well, I'm keeping busy, but we're in lockdown. We're in lockdown again.
Okay, well,
The grocery stores and the things that we need are open, but it's basically been another lockdown.
right.
So looking at it, I'm not sure if it's going to be over the Christmas holiday, but as now, they're supposed to open up December the 2nd. So
And,
we'll
uh,
see.
and from
But in
looking at
the meantime, I just keep busy, so I'm good. I am good.
lovely, and from
Yeah.
looking at some of the news and so on, it seems as though things are picking up once again in the UK.
Yeah, a bit, yes. Yeah.
Oh,
You know, you got a lot of universities here, a lot of college students that are coming from out. You got, you know, they've been caught having parties. So it's all kinds of stuff that's going on, you know, just bad choices.
you need to talk to these people. You need to talk to
Yeah,
these people.
well, you know, but you know, for me, I try to give them grace because we don't know the circumstances that some people come out. We don't know why people leave their homes. We don't know, you know, the abuses rise,
Yeah,
domestic violence is rise. You got overcrowded homes. So you know, you got to give them grace. We can't assume why they're coming out. We have to be the light. We have to make the difference.
true. That's lovely. And might I say you look really lovely this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, you do, lovely. Oh my goodness. You know, Sister Laverne, as I heard about you being a part of this uh traumatic experience. I also heard that you write books. I know you write books. Did you write any book on this particular incident in your life?
Yes, well, that was my first book I
Oh,
wrote.
really?
It was called "Do You Know Who You're Sitting Next to?"
Say that again.
Do you know who you sit? Do you know who you are sitting next to?
Wow. Wow.
Do
Sounds
you really? Do
powerful.
you really know Sydney? Do you really?
Wow.
So,
Wow.
and I did that. I used that topic um, only because once I returned back to the church, I still didn't know who I was for that moment. You still had some challenges going on. And you know, you judge so much. People are judged. You sit next to somebody and you assume they're not speaking, you assume they're not doing this, but you really don't know them. And people
True.
really didn't know me. They knew what they saw or heard. They really didn't know the inside. So I used that topic to talk about my molestation, my sexual abuse. And that's why I used that topic.
Wow. Wow. That is truly powerful. Let me ask you something. While writing the book, what was going through your mind? What was the feelings going through your body? You know, how did you feel writing this book?
Well, I was okay writing it. I feel that the trauma more or less was when I came to school.
Right.
You never really got listened to. When you came to school and you met all the children, the teachers, when the teachers started teaching the Bible, for me, I didn't know a lot. As long as I was a Christian, I still didn't know a lot. But when you start to identify that these stories are in the Bible,
Yeah.
that's when the feelings came. When you read about Tamar molested by her brother, which we do never talk about. We talk about women of the Bible, but we leave her out. Then I started identifying with myself, like starting to almost say, you know what? I could get through this. I'm not as bad as I think I am. So that's when it started. And then you was able to relate to the children about my dilemma and talk to them, and they were willing to listen. That's when the feelings rolled, and I knew that I needed to write that down. I knew that people needed it because you started hearing people's stories. that was like a healing process for me then. So when I started to write it, is when you start to recognize all the bad behavior I had.
Wow.
All the bad behavior, the lack of intimacy, the bad choices, the bad parenting. You start to see all of that. So it became almost a healing thing to write it, but also more powerful. I wrote it more because, you know, the world will benefit from me, but I definitely want people in church. I really want people that are in worship. I really want Christians to be able to help them along, because you can get to a point in your life that the trauma that you have inside from that, you can only move so far in your Christianity. We depend for God to do everything. He will help us, but we've got to make some decisions ourselves. And so I really made that book for to encourage. So I actually like to use it when I discuss and talk to people, you know. So
and after writing such a book, what was the feedback like? How many people in such a similar situation ran to you?
Leon, when I wrote that book, I printed it. I wanted to print it. A few members at the San Fernando congregation helped me to do it online. So so the first time it got printed, it wasn't actually like a professional printing, but I printed enough to get some out. And when I went home, back to Bermuda, there was an organization that had started, a charity that started called Bermuda Scars, Saving Children. That was real powerful for me because all those years I couldn't get nobody to talk about molestation, so I joined it. So they encouraged me to print that book in Bermuda.
Right.
And I did that. And so they did a newspaper clipping, because I was this person in Bermuda that came out about my molestation. Wow, let me tell you something. It was overwhelming. As much as I knew that it was out there, but it was so overwhelming for me. It was very, very overwhelming. People, the book went into stores in Bermuda, but people wanted me to bring the book to them because there were people that were telling their stories. And I'm telling you, it was, and then you hear somebody say, oh, you know, that was the norm. That, you know, you hear older people say that was the norm, but it didn't make it right. So it was a very overpowerful time for me. Yeah, that was 2014. I wrote that book. So yeah.
Wow.
It was really a lot revealing, a lot of stories.
And you said something that is very, very true. You know, people it seems as though people are being desensitized to a situation like that. They are thinking it is now normal, you know, molestation, people are being molested, you know, that's just another case. But there are truly some heavy psychological
yes, it is. Yeah.
There are truly some psychological issues that arise from that. What do you have to say about it?
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, I had no self-esteem. I absent from school. I don't have any real education from school at all. Wow. Didn't feel good about myself. Rebellious, angry. I became a little bully. I would kick your doing. My behavior, resentful. You know, it does. It affects you even in intimacy. You know, your relationships. You choose the different type of man, or you didn't even know how to communicate having sex the right way when you got involved. Like, you know, so it affected a lot of ways in my life. This is not to say that this is what affects every person that's been molested, because everyone is different, but this is my story. That's the things that done to me. And so when you begin to talk about it, it's taboo. So you don't know where to go. You know, I went through depression. I had to take a few depression pills. I did everything until finally you just don't know what else to do. So you start to accept that this is what I am. So everything I try to do, I sabotage, I think at 57, that I met Dominique was I think I was probably at one of my lows. And I think when he met me, never knew me, and was able to say, listen to me talking and say, you have a story that you need to write. I said, me, I don't know how to write. So for me, the transformation that God did with me to do this, I can't sit on that. I can't sit on talking about this, and I will talk about it. I will help. I will go the extra mile for anybody, because people are hurting. People are hurting. People are hurting. People are struggling.
Now tell me this. The very first time the idea came to you to speak out about it, speak up about it, weren't you afraid, fearful of the way people might look at you, okay, she been through this, weren't you fearful of anything like that?
At the beginning, but when I start to speak about this, when I really start to speak about it, I had already understood who God was. So for me, when I realized how much God loved me no matter what, and I can remember, I'm sure it was Justin had preached one day at San Fernando, and I don't know if it was on his preaching or in class, but I remember him saying, "Oh, find a story. You can apply your life to a story or somebody in the Bible." And guess what? My life is that whole Bible. I lost everything like Job. I was like Tamar. I was like David and Bashir. I did all of that. So now, when I look and saw how God was able to forgive those people, I knew I didn't care what anybody said about me. But it took me to go to school. Every one of those teachers played a role in my life. Every one of them. I would never. I was the hardest thing I did, but I'll never change that. It's what's got me to work. It's gave me the boldness that I have today. And so I don't care what anybody says anymore, but that is a struggle for people. And so because it's a struggle for people, we need to make relationships with people, to hold their hand, to walk with them, not tell them what they need to do. Don't stop them when they're talking, in the midst when they're talking. When it's uncomfortable, just hold their hand. I'm here. Let them cry. What do you want to do? Whatever you decide to do, I'm going to walk with you. We can't fix people's problems, but we can help them by walking with them. And that's what we need to do. We need to build relationships, because everybody's got some type of drama going. It don't even have to be sexual abuse. It could be mental abuse, dysfunctional home, any type of abuse. If we don't make relationships with each other, we can't find any other. And don't go with the people you just like. Right. You can't. I go where I'm uncomfortable, and you know what? And before I do it, I pray. That's all God's asked you to do. He has walked me through her. I will never ever be able to express to you the transformation He's did in my life. I never saw me where I am. I'm doing a third book. I didn't have any education. And Sydney sitting right there could tell you that was hard for me to read or do something in school. I wasn't the person that was able to always stand up and speak out. That was me. But my point is, I want to be the person that people know what God did for me, where He brought me from. So when you do that, you can help them. But they can't do it by themselves. It's God, and He gives us to help each other, and that's what we have to do. So I would tell you any story. Don't ever be afraid to ask me anything about my life, because I'm going to tell you. So when you sit around a coffee table and talk about me, I'm already tell you. You already know.
Yeah.
Don't feel no way.
You're totally correct. And I think, I'm seeing Monica Arlene making a statement here. And that is along the line I was now going to, speak about, because some people are really afraid of opening themselves, and such a situation, such a traumatic event in their life, some people are afraid to open that up to other people, because one of the things that we do as human beings is
Judge.
use it. Yeah, we judge and we use it against you when things happen in life. Because what I recognize is that as human beings, we like to be on top of other people. We like to be seen as better and feel better than other people. And we use people's, hurtful and traumatic events
Yep.
against them. And again, as you said, we judge them. We look at them in a particular way and we
Yes.
start
Yeah.
categorizing
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. I was that person. But what we tend to do, we put a measuring stick up. That's what we do. On
Right.
that measuring stick, we measure, like, at least this didn't happen to me. At least I didn't do this. And we tend to measure ourselves, and we're all in the same boat, because it doesn't even have to be sexual abuse. You could be
Right.
a fornicator. You could be an adulteress. You can be any type of person. All of that is sin. But
Wow.
we categorize it. And so if something happened to somebody, it doesn't make the fault. But see, this is me. I know that people have a hard time saying trust. Well, I look at it, trust no man. So it's always somebody that's gonna fail me.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be somebody that's gonna fail me. So if I'm feeling this mood, and I'm gonna tell you, and if you choose to go out there and tell somebody else, then it's gonna be between you and God. Because if I do it genuinely, I'm telling you, and you go out and do that, it's between you and God. So I do know that it's gonna be hard for some people. Not everybody's me. Not everybody's gonna do, but that's why it's important that those that struggle harder, we need to be with them. We need to support them. We need to let them cry. One of my biggest things I wanted to do, one of my biggest visions, was to be able to have a forum where you can have a place at the church that somebody could start that, and people that have been through any abuse could come and just voice and cry and talk and testimony and say what they've been through. People don't heal because they don't have no word to talk about it. I don't feel that they don't want to talk about it, but like you just said, I was invited on the radio station, 2 different radio stations, when I did my book in Bermuda. And one of the girls asked me, why is it that we take so long to come out? So the question I said to her, if I came and told you that your father molested me, what would you say about me? I was either a slut, I was either promiscuous, I was either just, that's what you can say, not your daddy, because you know your daddy as your daddy, because that's what you see. But you don't know everything your daddy did in his life.
Wow. Come on.
So now, why you think somebody's scared to come out? Because you're going to degrade them. That's why you're scared to come out. So my point is that it don't mean some of these people don't want to talk. It's the shame that they can get from people's children.
Yes. Wow.
So we better be careful. Now, I'm not telling you that we can't forgive these people, and I'm not saying that you cannot love your daddy, but you should ask him, Daddy, I heard such and such a thing. Did this really happen? But we don't want to believe that because we see this lovable person that brought us up. We don't know what happened, because a lot of things happened back in one of the girls I went did a book, and she asked me to bring one of my books to her. And I remember her saying to me, I needed this. She said, because I have a real hard time with my grandmother, because my grandmother knew that my uncle molested his daughters, but did nothing. So now the man is probably going on, got a wife, got somebody else, got other children, but nobody says nothing. So he still sits around the dinner table. He's not been accountable. You have to, you can, God does, I forgive because God told me to forgive. But I don't have to sit around a dinner table with you to make me feel uncomfortable all the time. Yeah. So if you really cared about me, you'll say, you know what? Laverne and I have a low relationship, but you know what? I know it's still what I did was wrong, so I'm not going to sit around that table. But they done, because nobody holds them accountable. So life goes on for them. But so the victim still struggles. Coming to functions.
What you think about the people that knows someone is being molested, like a parent knows a child or something like that, what do you think about the people? They know that molestation is happening, but they keep it a secret. They don't bring it out. They don't deal
Because
with
I
it.
think they're embarrassed. They're embarrassed, and they're probably insecure. They already had some type of difficulties in their life, especially with relationships with a man, or don't want to let that person go. The lady that started the program, Scars in Bermuda, actually I did another class with them on Zoom on Saturday. It's a big thing. They go on Zoom, and they before they did Zoom, but now they do Zoom. But she started that class because that charity, because her two daughters were were babysitted by her family member, this family member she trusted, and he molested both of the girls, but the mother chose to still stay with the husband. So you find the story out that the mother got molested when she was young, or that the mother had trauma when she was young. So it's a cycle. It's a cycle. Wow. You know, I have someone that I deal with right now that molested by her father, went to prison. He did, but then the mother came out and lives back with him.
Wow.
So the daughter she's going from 11, 12 up into 40, and she's still having a lot of struggles. So you try to get her to, get counseling, but still a lot of struggles. And so her behavior, we talk about. That's why I said, you're sitting there. So we talk about her behavior. She needs to get it together. She needs to do this. But have you really sat down and really talked to her? Wow. Have you really sat down and listened? And so for me, I wasn't listened to. I wasn't listened to. And so for me, I had to fight for what I wanted. And God gave me the strength to do that. But it's because people that came into my life that gave me that opportunity. And to make that book possible, there was people in Trinidad that helped to do that. Cindy, Michelle, Byron, there's people, Trish, there's people where they helped to write that, because see, I can visualize things, but it's hard for me to put it down. Right, yeah. So I used to pray for God to give me an Aaron, because see, what we realized that Moses had a speech problem. God gave him Aaron. Yeah. So why is it in life that us as Christians, when Christians are telling people about, you could do it, we need somebody to help us. So God gave me some Aarons in my life.
Tell me something so grateful. After such a period in your life, how did you give us a little insight of your life, yourself, your mind? How did you view life in general? How did you view everything in life? How did that affected your decision making? Give us some insight of what happened with you after such a time in your life.
Okay, how did I get to where I am, or how did my decision?
Yeah, how did it affect your decision making? How did you view people and things and relationships?
I viewed relationships not good. I picked bad relationships. So I'm single now. I don't have to be, but I made a decision that, Lord, I am not a good picker in men. So if it's meant for me to have one, you would make a way. If not, then I'm willing to stay the way I am, even if I don't like it. But if it's what's best for me, because I was not, I gave up a relationship that I truly loved, but I gave it up because of Christianity. I chose to come back. I made bad decisions in parenting when I left the church, because I left for a relationship. I made a lot of bad decisions. I sabotaged a lot of things for myself. I didn't have a speaking relationship with my mom for many years. Bad decision in marriage. I allowed myself to do that. He would tell me that I was too fat, couldn't have sex properly. Pregnant at the same time another woman was pregnant. So of course I didn't think I was worthy, never thought that I was worthy. Self-esteem was not very good for me, not in a lot of ways. Didn't like myself very much. Never really stood up for myself. You become like almost a people pleaser, like trying to fit in. So there was a lot of stuff. So it don't just wake up with one thing. So there's people that don't even want to look at themselves. I looked at myself. So when I started writing the book, I took time to look at me and research about why I'm this way. Went counseling. One thing that blew me when I went counseling, I think the last counseling I went to way back, and I remember the lady saying to me, Laverne, you have gone through all this mess and you brought yourself to counseling. Nobody brought you here. So I'm telling you that what you got, you better go out and counsel people because you survived it. That gave me courage. Another one has told me, she said, you need to put your mother, your father, your brother and sisters, put them in front of you and take names off them. Take the name mother, brother, sister off them. What do you get? Everyday people. So they can fail you just like anybody else in the world. Wow. We put mother and father, and we have expectations of them. That's why when God tells me that my family's the church, I take that personal. I take that real personal because they really are. And so I don't have any expectations of everybody. So when I learned that from going through programs, from going through counseling, then I could find myself healing, but it's a process. You have to work on it every day. So I get to the point now, I don't have expectations of anybody. Because anybody can fail you.
True.
You know, and so those are some of the things that helped me to get through, but it wasn't easy. No, it was not. I would not tell you the journey was easy, but I could tell you that the journey is worth it today. I could sit there on top of the rooftop and praise God to the top of my voice. Because it, you know.
What do you have to say about the people that ignore their situations?
I don't think they're ignoring it. I think they're suppressed it. I think that they feel that they've gotten past it. But I think sometimes if we just stop back and look at our behavior can tell a lot about us. Our actions and our behavior, the way we handle situations, the way we react to situations, when we take things so personal, when somebody can come up to you and say, you know, hey, you know, we've been friends for a long time. Let me just say what I see you do. I can do this. You know, the way that we react, I think that tells a lot about a person, our actions. And so some people just suppress it and go and say, well, I dealt with it all these years and I made it through life. And so I'm okay. You know, so
and there are others who want to move forward and believe by just trying to push it aside or push it under the rug, it would help them to move forward by not focusing on it. But I don't know, but
yeah, it comes out. I think it will still come out. It will come out in some way.
Yes,
it will still come out in some way. It still comes out because I try to do that, and I think the when I came back to the church is when I realized that something's wrong with me. And I would look at myself and say, why is it that I am so hurtful because Leon said this? And then I would go home and look at myself, like, why do I take these things? Like, you know, so you start searching yourself, then you start seeking out help, then you start reading. So I didn't read before I came to school. So now I have books, I read, I listen to motivational stuff. I talk to, you know, positive people, I listen. And so we tend to push stuff aside, but it's can still be there because sometimes as you get older, things come out a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm 67, 68 next month. I'm telling you, you start, because even it's still a process with me today. It's still things that I have to work on today. It does not leave me. What happens is that you have to get up. I have to find a routine that I keep every day to keep my mind focused on God. And that gets me through every day. It don't mean some of those images that happened to me as molestation don't fall back in my mind. But the minute you do that, you got to say, come on now. Okay, let me get up today. I need to get out of this house, or today I need to go for a walk, or today I need to read. and it works. Or you sit in that bed at night and I'm saying, Lord, sometimes it'd be nice to have somebody to put my head on the chest or something. Then I get on my knees, Lord, I need you tonight. I need you to wrap your arms around. I have to do that. It's an ongoing thing. It's easier because I know what to do, but I had to do that. It's a lot of tears to get to where I am now. And it works. It works. But you ask God to show you, not giving you who you need. We tend to pray for, we need. I ask God, give me what I need, not who I want, who I need. Because everybody you want is not always good for you.
A lot of people out there, they have, I don't know, but it could be millions of people dealing with stuff like that. And, people are looking for a way out. Some people just want this to be out of their lives. They just want to be free from all these thoughts and images and feelings. They want to be free from those things. Share with the audience this morning, if you may, what are the first few things that you did to take the step in the direction of healing?
On my knees crying one day, almost every day for about a week. Cry, pray to Lord, help me, show me. I can remember crying because I didn't know what to do. Crying, really surrendering. Lord, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. Please help me. And I did that for about a week. Cried many a days until people started to come around. That's how Dominique came up. It was during that week that I was crying.
Oh.
That I was asking God to show me what to do. No, this is the key. When you're crying and going through all that and asking God for it, He's going to give you something. But you know what some of us say? Oh no, that's not who I want because I don't trust him. So sometimes you got to learn how to discern who comes up. Because who comes up to you is not always the people you think the friend that you've been with for 15 years is not going to always be the friend that's going to be there for you to bail you out, It's going to always be somebody else. Now, Dominique was somebody from Trinidad that I didn't even know.
Yeah.
And if I didn't listen to him, I won't be sitting right here today.
Wow. That was the man. That was the man sent to you by God.
I will tell you that. I will always have the most honest respect for Dominique for a couple of words. And he's very calm, and him and his wife, very calm words, believed in me, challenged me. He challenged me. And so for me, when I did those things, I listened. And at first I fought. I was like, no, school, not me, right. Because I can't read or write properly. I can't pronounce words. And then it was worse when I came to Trinidad because I didn't know what none of you were saying. So the first 3 months was a crying time. Those children, Leah, Marina, Harleen, Levon, Travail, they kept me school. They became my parents for school. I became the parents for reality. So my point is that my journey started right there. When I got home, I just cried every day because I didn't know what to do. I was losing my house.
Right.
I lost my job. I got sick and everything was crashing down. And all those things, it was like, I can't go back in the world. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I didn't know who to go to. And that's when my life turned straight right there, that moment. But you have to be ready to surrender. You got to give up. So those that you think are not there to help you, there are some that are, but you got to remember, it's not the ones that you want. Because there are people that will help you. But see, we look at who we want.
Yeah, true.
Ask God to give you what you need.
Yes.
And he will. He will. He will. And that's where my healing started. And school gave me the boldness. I don't care no more about anybody.
Wow, that's yeah. That's the same
so
school.
Anybody that chooses to go to school,
about.
Don't think you got to be 18 to go to school. I went to school
right.
at 58. It'll be 10 years next month.
That's right. Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
those children educated me, those children supported me, those children encouraged me, those children showed me love that I probably never realized I can get so much. And the teachers, well, yeah. So I give a shout out to all my teachers.
Sister Laverne, I have I just glimpsed and I saw a question here. Did you ever get the opportunity to confront your abuser?
He died.
Oh my goodness.
But I know his children. I played with his children, but I never, because he died, I never told his children.
Right. Oh my. Okay.
Because he died.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And you spoke about getting counseling and you making the step to find a counselor. How important the counseling was? How important the counseling was in helping you, taking you to that next level of healing?
It was very helpful because I went to one counselor, and when she told me some of the things she told me, I didn't believe her. So I went to another one. And so, but the last one was, when she made me realize that what you have, you should be out there counseling other people. Now, even though she said it, I still couldn't see that, but it gave me some confidence that she said, you're making us do all this stuff and you're sitting here. She said, you think you're depressed. She said, a depressed person wouldn't even come out of the house. You're still picking yourself up. So those things there was encouragement. So it is encouraging to find somebody, I think, and nowadays, there's a lot of psychologists and counselors in church. They need to find out who they are and don't be afraid. I know that it seems like, the humiliation's there, but anything that you have to do for your Christianity is never going to be easy.
Right.
It's not easy. God didn't make things like you run down your road, like there's not going to be any persecution. It wasn't easy for Christ, but if you trust God, he will get you through it. So you got to open up. So the counselors and stuff was very, very good to me. And then I had maybe one or two friends that were a bit supportive, that were there, that would listen to me, but they still couldn't understand. Right. But you have to find that person. So I say this, that to let you know that sometimes, this is to the friends, that sometimes you may not understand what she's going through. Right. But tell her, I don't understand, but I want to be here with you. I want to try to understand. I think we have a responsibility as, it don't even have to be church, anybody. You have a responsibility to read up on this. This is a thing that's worldwide now. Yes. Educate yourself. Educate yourself on how to talk to people. Educate yourself on what you should say. Educate yourself in the things that you see in church. Put up boundaries in your church. Children shouldn't go to the bathroom by themselves. Little boys shouldn't go. If you see things that are unreal, educate yourself. It don't mean everybody you come in contact with are that way, but you would not know what to pick out of that. Because let me say this, pedophiles are coming in the church. Yeah. When you go out to evangelize, God wants everybody. But he expects you to make relationships so you can know people. You have other churches out here that are not Church of Christ that are bringing in, they got Sunday school teachers, they do background checks on them. Do we do that? It sounds cruel, but it's not, because the church is laxy. Yeah. So where these people can come? They can come to the church where the church is easy. That's what they're gonna do. And so you don't have to be safeguarding everything, but if you put boundaries up, codes of conduct up, then you know that you're okay. But if we don't do that, we have to put things in place for each other. We have to support each other, and it's not happening, not the way it should happen. It's just not. So if I have to go over the world and talk to everybody, anybody that wants to call me, they do. My phone rings quite often. I have no problem. I will talk. I will comfort them. I will cry with them. I will give them what I know. I am not no psychologist or nothing, but I can tell you this. I have experienced everything. And what people's got to realize that empathy is action. You got empathy, show some action.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Support the person.
Now, what are some, it's, I know it's hard to see, and for some people, there may not be anything at all, but what are some gems you came out with from something like that?
When you say that, what you mean?
And what are some things that you learned that helped to really transform your life from such a situation?
From my situation?
Yeah.
What transform me?
Yeah.
And you
What are
mean-
some things you learned from that situation?
Oh, I learned that it's how can I explain that? I guess I don't know. I learned so much, Leon. I learned how to love people. I learned how to have a lot of compassion for people. I'm one of these people that stand up for the underdog. When you're
Right.
the person that's on the street, or the person that's the promiscuous girl, or the person that's out there having sex with everybody. I stand up for those people because I was one of those people. I was promiscuous. You know, I look for man for love because I wanted to touch. I didn't have that. I didn't know nothing about that touch. So you're trying to prove something. So I learned that when you look at somebody, don't assume. Don't assume. You cannot assume. We have a conversation around the table that we assume that, yeah, because they didn't look like that. Yeah, it might have looked like that, but do you know? So I learned all that stuff. So I'm a very I pay attention. I could look at you and still see what's going on outside. I could watch your eyes. I pay attention to people. And one of the things I've learned is that if people are not feeling you, they're not going to talk to you. So if you're talking to somebody and you're talking to somebody that's talking about something, make eye contact. If you come out of church on a Sunday and you go up to somebody and you ask them how they are, don't ask them how they are if you really don't want to know.
True.
Because when they start talking, you're saying, oh, let me go over there to so-and-so and keep going. No, if somebody's talking to me, these are the things I learned. I give them eye contact. I try to stay there and listen to them. I try to hear what they're saying. I don't get around to everybody today. That's okay, because Leon needed me today, so I'm going to listen to him. Those are the things I learned. Those are the things I try to tell people, the things that would have helped me. I was shut down. If I was to make a statement, somebody would say, oh, you're so negative. So now, if I'm talking about a negative statement, it could be a statement about something that's happened to me. I don't necessarily have to be negative. You know what I mean? It could be something about, you know what? I'm really not feeling this today because X, Y, Z. Oh, you're so negative.
Yeah.
No, you're not letting the person finish.
True.
You can't shut them down until you finish to the end, because you want to be listened to. So why do they not? So for me, I try to give what I needed and what I wanted, and God got me through mines. And I'm very fortunate because I trusted God for that. But not everybody could get through by themselves. Well, not all the same. We deal with things differently. And so for me, I'm the rescuer. I try to rescue everybody. I know I have a brother that tells me I can't save everybody, and maybe not, but I sure try. You know, anybody, I just try to rescue. So I learned those things because I don't like people hurting. I can. And I know church was hard for me. It was hard for me being a Christian. Hard trying to hold on, hard trying not to fornicate and still come church, hard not to go out there. So I try to help people that, you know, so my passion right now is to help Christians to hold on, and especially in this time.
Oh my goodness. Have you ever been at any point in your life where you felt as though life is just not worth living anymore?
Yeah, I went to commit suicide once. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, been there. My story is just, you just got the cake, you ain't got the icing yet. It's so much more to my life, you know. So yeah, I did. There's times I wanted to quit. Even when I came back to the church, I wanted to leave again. So, and I say it again, when I made that decision to come to school, it saved me from myself. School saved me from myself.
Wow.
That saved me in more ways than I can possibly tell you. I can't even imagine to tell you that.
let me ask you a question. How, in being in such a position where you had suicidal thoughts, how scary was it?
It wasn't
If it
scary for me. I felt unloved. I felt like, I didn't have the connection with the biological family. And here I am going to church, and the church family was not there. So who do I have? And you don't know the depth. You weren't a strong Christian to the fact that you really knew who God was. You really wasn't there yet. So I felt some things had failed me. But it took a sister that when I was saying those things to, on the phone. She left her children with her husband and came to my house and slept on the floor beside my bed that night. That's exactly what got me through. That's when I felt that type of love. Like when I think about that today now, it's more powerful now than it was then. So how many of us is gonna get out of our bed at 3 o'clock in the morning and go attend to some sister? How many of us gonna do that? See, that's the reasons that's the lessons I've learned. I give that up. How many of us is gonna say, I'm tired? Like this is somebody's gonna call you. You can say, I'm tired right now. I know you're having a problem, but you know what? I'll call you tomorrow, or I'll go tomorrow. How many of us is gonna not want to lose our sleep? Tired. God gives you the strength when you're tired, especially if it's something genuine you're doing for a brother or sister.
Wow.
How many of us gonna do that? So I do it. So I do that for people. How many of us do it? How many of us is going to stay up on the phone all night and try to talk to somebody when they're crying? How many of us wants to listen to a person's story and they say the person's called me 4 times with the same thing? I can't deal with her no more. I'm sick and tired of talking about this same thing. How many of us do that? It's done to me. Sometimes you got to go that little extra mile, especially because we don't know the situation. Now, yes, there comes a time you got to get stern, because I do get stern. There's a time you got to come, now listen. But her, now's the time you say, well, let me pass it on. Because now that person may be special counseling. So you got to know where the boundaries is. So when I can't deal with something, I know people that I could send people to. So, and then it comes to a point you can't save everybody, because Jesus didn't save everybody. He could, but everybody didn't want to be saved. So there are some people that don't want to. So you have to know where that is. But don't give up on somebody just because they call you twice in one night to talk about something, and you give them, you listen, because sometimes we just badge people with the Bible. Sometimes we got to meet people where they are. And let's see, when I left the church, I can remember 2 older sisters coming to me, and they were the only 2 older ones that came and asked me how I felt. How I felt. And so that's what we have to do sometimes,
So if I get this picture correct, being at this point of wanting to commit suicide, it seemed as though suicide was your way of escape, your only door
at that moment. Mm-hmm.
That moment. And that friend just came in and started showing you what you always wanted to see and created a whole new door. Is that what happened?
Yeah. And but as tight today as ever. That's not changed. We are tight today as ever.
Wow.
Remember the church still, even when I left the church, every now and then they were cold. Never left me. Even when I left. Now she didn't sit up and entertain what I did, but just called to chat and encourage. And it was her that I called to return back to the church. So yes. Wow. So a little encouragement can change a whole nation. A kind word can change a whole nation. We don't do that. Judge.
Laverne Davis, Laverne Davis, you are a powerhouse. You are filled with so much. Wow, you are meant to be here to be able to really truly shake the lives of many people who are dealing with stuff but don't know where to turn, don't know what to do, and may be suicidal as well. You are truly a remarkable and strong woman, and I give you all praise. I praise you for that. I praise you for that. You deserve the praise
for being such a strong woman. And I know you will give the praise to God because He's the one that is
Amen. That's him.
pushing
I'm on the rooftop.
and
That's
continue
him.
moving. Lovely,
Yeah.
lovely. Well, before you go, any last words to the people?
To those that have those that are not Christians or those that have never been molested, be there for people. Have relationships with them.
Yeah.
Be there. You know, and those that are struggling and feel that, you know, the church is a problem, don't leave. Whatever choices you're going, whatever struggles you're going through, make the right choice. It's consequences, whether you're in or out. So you make a bad consequence to leave, that's going to be some issues. If your consequence is staying, find somebody. There are people. Find somebody. Go for counseling. It's not an easy journey, but everybody's got somebody that they're friends with and trust, and just walk. You know, please just make relationships so that we can pull each other along. And these are the days that we have to encourage and pull each other along. We have to do it. God doesn't just tell us. It's a commandment to support each other, to encourage each other, to love each other. We have to do it. So for me, just stand strong. Don't give up the faith.
Wow, lovely, lovely.
It's rewards.
Great word.
And go school. Go school.
And go to school. That's right. That's right. That's right.
I promote that school. I promote Trinidad School of Preaching and Teaching. That was the best decision. Never too old. I graduated at 60. Sydney will tell you. Graduated at 60. My schoolmate, Sydney.
He's right there and he's grinning away. Yeah.
Good memories. Hard memories, but good memories. So I thank you. I thank you for this. I thank you for having the courage to talk about this topic. But any topic that you need to talk about, whether it's parenting, I talked about my bad decisions in parenting, anything, marriage. You know, I made bad decisions, but to go up in the glory, that those decisions I use to let people know how God can transform you.
Right.
Make sure I try to leave a better legacy for my children than I did before, and I think that was important to me. And so I write books. The next book I'm writing, this is what the you're sitting next to looks like. And then I wrote a book on your 5 spiritual well-being, and then I'm writing one now about Here I Am Now. So actually, it's just talking about the people want to know how I got her, so I'm trying to put that, the things that I had to work on, the forgiveness, the letting go, the insecurities, and to show them how God got me. So I'm thankful. I didn't see my life didn't see my life writing a book, but hey, through standing and through God, I did it. So I give him all the glory and honor. So thank you.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Well, before you go, where can we get those books that you have available?
Well, actually, the books were coming to Trinidad. I was giving them to Lynette to sell, but through the virus, they haven't been sent. So when they come, I will send them to Sister Lynette Emmanuel, Travel's mom.
Right.
And that's it. Some people have them in Trinidad because I've mailed them to quite a few people. So,
right.
Dominique has his, Leah, Cindy. No, it's not Sydney. So there have been some there. So I had to get more done up that I was going to send a box, and that did not happen. So it's here. So when I send them, I'll send them. I kind of use them. I didn't put them all on Amazon and stuff because I talk to so many people that call. I try to use them as a tool, so people will buy them as a tool.
Right.
Yeah. So
all right. Well, as soon as as soon as you send, the books in quantity to Trinidad, then you can let me know, and I'll let the people know available locally.
Well, I'm missing Trinidad. Maybe I'll be bringing them myself.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. All right. So guys, you can find our books on Amazon as well. And
not putting them on Amazon.
You're not putting them there? Oh, okay. Well, it's only hard copies. So
you got them. You get it.
So I guess you'll have to contact Sister Laverne privately so that she can find a way, probably mail it to you or something.
Yes,
But
yes,
I really believe
yes.
that those books can impact, truly impact someone's life. You're doing a great job, Sister Laverne. I think you're a marvelous, really powerful woman.
Thank you, darling. Thank you, Leon. To God be the glory. Thank you, Sydney. Keep singing.
All right. Well, on behalf of the label
Bye.
family, the label crew, the label team, we want to say thank you so much, Sister Laverne, for such a powerful session on the label show this morning. You have truly been a blessing to so many. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, sweetheart. Take care of yourselves.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, darling.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you got it. That was Laverne Davies from the UK, with such a powerful message. You know, when she shows up, she always has a powerful message to bring. And that was on molestation. For those of you who were coming in late, for those of you who missed it, that was on molestation. A lot of people are being molested, young and old, ladies and gentlemen, and we need to figure out ways how to deal with it and how to heal after those things have happened. All right. Remember, don't sweep it under the rug. Try to find someone, especially a counselor, to be able to work with you and deal with those things, because sometimes you hide it, you suppress it, and it pops up in the worst of times. All right. It affects you. It affects your relationship. It affects your ability to make proper decisions. So you need to be able to deal with this the right way. Don't be ashamed. You have to talk to people about it. You have to talk about it. And as I love to say, talk it out of your system. All right. The more you keep it in there is the more damage and decay it is going to bring to you, your life, your family, the people around you. So remember to deal with it the right way. And you can go back and look over the video to listen to some of the things that Sister Laverne would have said. It is truly amazing information you can grasp so that you can be able to use it personally to be able to move forward in your life. What you want to do is move forward. You don't want to be drawn back by all those images and those feelings and those experiences. You don't want to be set back. You want to be able to move forward amid the things that happened in your life. All right. So you need to find a way to do it. Find the strength, pick yourself up, and make the first step to get things on the way, ladies and gentlemen. We truly are appreciative to you for joining us on this session this morning. We hope that you were blessed. We hope that you gained a lot from what was said and what was done. And we're praying that this session would have somebody moving from one step to the next, making a bold move to get themselves and their lives transformed into the beautiful life that they truly wanted to be. Get rid of all the weights that are hanging down on your shoulders, ladies and gentlemen.
With just a cottage below, a little silver and a little gold. But in that city where the ransom will shine, I want a gold one, that silver line. I've got a mansion just over the hilltop in that bright land where we'll never grow old. And someday yonder we'll never more wander, but walk the streets that are purest gold. Don't think me poor or deserted or lonely. I'm not discouraged. I'm heaven bound. I'm just a pilgrim in search of a city. I want a mansion, a robe and a crown. I've got a mansion just over the hilltop in that bright land where we'll never grow old. And someday yonder we'll never more wander, but walk the streets that are purest gold. I've got a mansion just over the hilltop in that bright land where we'll never grow old. And someday yonder we'll never more wander, but walk the streets that are purest gold.